Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the CF3 paddle from Standout Pickleball. If you're not familiar with Standout Pickleball, it's a company started by one of the co-founders of 6 Zero. So let's see how their first paddle, the CF3, compares with other thermoform paddles on the market today. While the CF3 is a Gen 2 thermoform paddle, unlike the 6 Zero paddles, it's not hybrid shaped, and the CF3 is fully elongated at 16.5 inches with a curved top, instead of 16.25 inches. The width is 7.5 inches, and it does mention that there is a slight taper at the corners, but it's very subtle and not as pronounced as the 6 Zero paddles. The handle is 5.5 inches, and the core comes in both 14 and 16mm options, but I'll only be reviewing the 16mm for now. Because of that longer length, the swing weight of mine was noticeably heavier than the hybrid shaped paddles. My CF3 has a swing weight of 121, and for reference, my double black diamond has a swing weight of 114. And that 7-point difference is very noticeable. The twist weight of my CF3 is 6.41, which is decent for an elongated paddle, but just a tad bit less than the hybrid shaped ones. The most unique thing about the CF3 is its use of a denser polypropylene honeycomb core. The diameter of each cell in the core is smaller than what the majority of paddles use in the market, which makes the paddle a bit heavier and more solid feeling. This is actually pretty similar to what Spartus did with their Ballista paddle, though Spartus compensated for that heavier weight by adding a throat hole to remove some paddle surface area and by going edgeless. Now the CF3 does neither of those things, and that's definitely a reason why the swing weight is on the higher end for a curved elongated paddle, because the overall weight of the paddle is heavier from the core. When hitting the ball, you can definitely tell that the core has a slight difference. It makes a higher pitched sound on contact, and the feel of the ball off the paddle face is a bit more substantial feeling. Personally, I found the paddle to be more forgiving with a larger sweet spot than the double black diamond, despite it having a lower twist weight. This is something I also experienced with the Ballista sweet spot as well. It's a bit poppier off the face than the double black diamond, and because of its longer length and higher swing weight, the power you're able to generate with it on drives is also higher. For the surface, the CF3 uses Japanese Toray T700 carbon fiber, like the 6 Zero paddles, so you're also getting great spin generation because of the high quality materials being used. I would say that the CF3 fits in a category of paddles that I would describe as a double black diamond with just a tad bit more power and pop. Now there are two paddles I've covered recently that also fit here, the Mark Pickleball Kinetic and the 11624 Hirachi X, so let's see how it compares to all of them. Starting with the maneuverability, the Mark Kinetic is the quickest to swing, since it's more similar in dimensions to the double black diamond as the only hybrid paddle compared to the other two. Next up is the Hirachi X, and the CF3 is the slowest to swing as it has the highest swing weight. For the power, the Hirachi X with its elongated shape, combined with a longer handle and fiberglass layer in the surface, is at the top. Next is the CF3, and the paddle with the least power is the Mark Kinetic. For pop, the fiberglass layer in the Hirachi X puts it at the top again, but this time is followed by the Mark Kinetic, and the CF3 is at the bottom as the least poppy. For the sweet spot, I would put the CF3 at the top, as it has a good sweet spot on the horizontal axis and good reach on the vertical. As for the other two, the Kinetic has more horizontal stability than the Hirachi X, while the latter has more reach, but I think I would give the edge here to the Kinetic. But overall, for the CF3, I think it's a very solid paddle that I do recommend. If you want a bit more power and pop than something like a double black diamond, but are also okay with slightly less hand speed, the CF3 is definitely an option to consider, especially if you do want an elongated paddle over a hybrid one. Personally, I think the changes they've made to the core do give a different feel that adds a bit more forgiveness off the face. The CF3 is priced pretty affordably at $146, and with discount code DMVPball, you can get this for around $130, which is a pretty solid deal. If you are interested, I've added a link in the video description below.